Hey, I'm Kaz, a channel for the higher light.
And I'm Sally, your energetic guide and card reader.
This is the Quantum Thread.
A space to demystify energy, explore consciousness, and empower you to trust your inner truth. Well, welcome back, everyone, to episode 5 of the Quantum Thread. Can you believe, Kaz, we have made 5 episodes? That's a whole handful.
It's wonderful. How are you, everyone? Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot to us.
Absolutely. It's time for us to have these type of conversations, isn't it? It's all
It
about
sure is.
helping you shift from the old way, 3D, whatever you want to call it, to the new way. And part of that shift is requiring us to sort of relearn and revisit old habits, old thought processes, old ways of doing things. That can be a bit of a challenge, can't it, Kaz?
Absolutely. But it's the only way we can create a new way of living for ourselves. You know, we want to be that higher being. We want to bring in higher frequencies. So we have to let go and relearn of the patterns that are no longer serving us, whatever they may be.
And it was interesting how words can bring up connotations or associations. And I thought today we'd talk about commanding things to manifest or materialize into my life. But I personally have an issue with the word command because it has, negative connotations for me. And I don't know. I have trouble with it. Like some people have trouble with the word gratitude, and so they use thanks or thankfulness or something. But it's funny how we associate certain words with old connections.
Old ways, absolutely. And me being a Sydney sider, I always was associating the ever popular now side hustle with being ripped off because in Sydney, if you hustle someone, well, you're ripping them off. So that was a mind frame that I had to change in order to be able to bring in the positive aspects of a side hustle, the whole experience. And it's just incredible how
Yeah,
it
it's
works.
interesting though, because if you're caught up in the negative mindset around that word, you're going to
Yep,
send those negative vibes out and attract more negativity in. So you're not going
exactly.
to get that breakthrough because you're going to be caught up in the hustle of it and probably get ripped off in the process.
Exactly. Exactly. But awareness is everything. See, I became aware of that. I don't know how or when, but as soon as I became aware of the frequency difference, that incongruence between what everyone was creating, this beautiful side hustle part of their life, to my way of looking at it and feeling into it, I realized that that was a pattern that had to go.
Mm.
And that's awareness is everything. And that's self-awareness. And that's a part of self-care. It's a part of the higher frequencies. It's a beautiful, necessary, vital part of the path.
Mm. Very important point there. You can't change what you don't know. So awareness,
That's right.
having awareness is one of the first steps for sure. So coming back to the topic that I thought we'd talk about today is about commanding or using our energy in a more empowering way and commanding to the universe the things that we are choosing to create, because we do have this power within us to be the master creator. It's not just words. And when we fully embody what that means, we are such powerful beings to be able to command things into existence.
Yes. And we do this commanding on many levels, whatever level we're on, whether it be negative or whether it
Yeah.
be that commanding sovereign soul that we each are, like we are calling in our destiny, however that feels at the time. So we are better off to take command, take charge, to be positive, to let the universe know precisely
Mm.
what we want in each moment.
That I think clarity is such an important part of the process. Being clear about what it is that you're choosing to bring into your life and having the confidence and the courage to stand unencumbered about it, stand sort of solid, anchored, grounded to call it in rather than sort of fear-based, maybe, wishy-washy, half a toe in about it. I think you have to fully embody that, have that clarity about what it is that you're choosing. It was interesting about the whole shift from sitting back and just taking what's given to us and shifting onto the front foot and commanding and choosing and calling it in. It's a small tweak, but it's a massive paradigm shift energetically from sitting there waiting to see what card is dealt to you, as opposed to calling in the card that you're actually wanting.
Yeah. Yeah. And it can be frightening when
Yes.
that is experienced and you do receive that card that you want, that you are actually holding a royal flush, that you've always had that royal flush, and you just don't know how to use it, even though you know it's the highest hand that you can possibly have, and it's yours to use whenever you want. It still becomes extremely frightening to be able to use it.
That is such a good point, because when you haven't had it before, because you haven't stepped into that energy and that power and understood the power within, it can be really off-putting. It's like, whoa, because it is the shock. This really is
Yeah,
happening to me. And I think
yeah,
this is part of this whole process, is getting used to it happening more and more, and being solid and staying solid in our response to what's happening. It's like,
yeah,
yes, well, because this once again comes back to you fully deserving and being worthy of receiving.
yeah. And there's a balance there as well, because um, these commands, which command is typically an ego word, but these
Mm,
commands have to come from soul. So they're
mm,
coming from a place of love, not ego. So that balance has to be there. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So it's this finding the balance of learning how to use these commands, how to be able to manifest whatever it is that we are wanting to manifest and call in, and how to let go of
mm,
those things that we really don't need, that ego side of us.
mm. I think that it really is that fine line, because what we're choosing in, often it has dollar value attached to it, but it's what that money can provide, as opposed to the money itself. It's, rather than saying I want $1 million, it's saying I want a beautiful property with a view over the ocean, because it keeps my soul
Yeah,
calm and fine, brings me that inner peace, as opposed
yeah,
to, I want to get 6 hot cars, and or whatever, just the money alone, because money's just
yeah,
a conduit. It's just
yeah.
it's
It's like, how are you going to use that money? How are you going to embetter the world with that money?
mm, mm,
There's nothing wrong with wanting earthly things like 6 collectible hot rods or whatever, that's fine. But where does the soul fit into all of
yeah,
that?
yeah,
Where does the higher frequencies come from that you put into those cars? What
mm,
is it all about?
mm,
It's a depth of self-awareness that is imperative. That comes from soul, not ego.
mm, mm. Yeah, I think this is people are being so soul led at the moment, really drawn to having had enough of what's going on around, and choosing just back to basics, back to nature, being drawn back to the ocean, being drawn out to the country, being drawn out of the city, or having that balance of both. And if we can start to really master becoming the master creator, commanding these soul driven requirements or manifestations to materialize into our life, whoa, it just brings this peace. Just thinking about it brings the peace, just that beingness, that emptiness. It was interesting, I was just walking along the beach, and just when I get into that state of being, the mind stops racing, but it stops looking or searching. It's just, it is, and it's at home. And I think that's what the master creator is about, commanding these things that bring us to this peace, this inner freedom, this
Yeah,
this place of it's like nirvana.
it's beautiful. It's a very beautiful experience.
Mm. Well, why don't we just dip into channel and just see what beautiful insights, tips, words of wisdom that the beautiful Golden Group can share with us today about how to command from a soul driven way, not an ego driven way. And Ways that we can navigate forward, particularly as we're going through these highs and lows at the moment, and maintain momentum moving forward. So Kaz is just getting herself sorted, dipping into channel the beautiful golden group. They're so wise and so nurturing and so mothering. Always love chatting. Mhm.
Welcome. And thank you for creating this space for us to discuss how you can better command your birthright to receive, receiving all that you desire, creating all that you aspire to be. Can be as simple as communicating, having a conversation with the universe in regards to the details of what you want. Not the details on how to get there, dear ones, but the details on what you want, where you want to end up, and then following that magical path with fairy sparkles all along it. You can see, you can intuit exactly where you are walking and why you are walking there, as the universe has you by hand and is leading you toward that very destiny. And dear ones, whether or not that path is a few seconds long or a few years long, the path is there for you. It is there despite your ego. Your ego will learn it is not a part of the path.
Mm.
But whether you are shuffling a card deck and commanding through the specific oracle card that suits your moment, or whether you are creating a divine work of art that will take many years, the action steps are within you. They are yours for you to take. You cannot pull the desired card from a card deck without shuffling, without your intention, without your communicating to the divine, without your love for receiving from the soul of all that is and that beautiful space of creation that is there for you 100% of the time. There are many ways you can stoke the fire of your co-creating. There are many words you may use or may choose not to use.
Mm.
Words are resonant with your internal worldview, how you have experienced those words throughout your life. You can heal and change those vibrations that words present, or you may simply choose another word. However, when words are very popular and the collective amasses to a particular frequency for a particular word, you will find that you will need to release those blockages to be able to reach that height and therefore the best of that word and the meanings associated. We love you. We do thank you. And we bless your every moment.
Thank you. Ooh, very insightful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So as Kaz comes back to us, That was really insightful once again. Goodness me. Welcome back, Kaz.
Hello.
Oh, goodness me. They're
By
so
using my
aligning.
hands.
Yeah, I know. It was beautiful, but we're talking about this magical, mystical pathway, and it was just all just, it's giving me goosebumps just flowing through it. They're just so wise and so encouraging with, sort of validating almost what we were just talking about and just saying some words we have to get used to using and get over ourselves about what's kept us stuck because there's some very high vibrational words that really align. And if we've had issues with them, we'll have to work through that to get there. Otherwise, use other words. But there's some, I suppose, like gratitude or some really high energy words that if you have issues with it, sort of maybe work through the issues. But that was really
Yeah.
beautiful. It's just, um, yeah, it's about action steps and having the intention and then communicating it up to the universe. There's this saying, choose the what and allow the how to happen. And that's what the Golden Group was saying is like, don't worry about how it's going to just happen, but just be very clear or just, choose what it is that you're choosing. Have that intention and then communicate it up to the universe, like just so that, it can then be created. So
Yeah. And there's many out there who don't quite know what they want. And that was me on my early stages when I was
yep,
learning about manifesting. I'm like, I didn't even know what I wanted. I didn't
yep,
know who I wanted to be. And that was largely because of self-esteem and,
yep,
my inability to see myself as being this or being that. But it's that communication with the divine and
yep,
your inner world that
yep.
really helps to bring your story alive and sets you on the path, whether or not you know your end result. The universe is there for you and is still leading you towards it. You will catch up.
And what I really loved was saying that the channel was saying it might be a small pathway or a large one. It might be for like 2 minutes or it might be like for 2 years, whatever. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but just saying it's that pathway. It doesn't matter. It's there, right? And
Yeah.
so coming back to that bit about finding that courage and confidence to be any tips you've got to fully embody stepping into that, particularly when you're not sure of what it is that you're choosing. How would you encourage people to help find that clarity?
Comes back to the baby steps,
Mm.
you know. So let's use gemstones for an example. So you want to be a diamond, but you can't see yourself as a diamond. You're not a diamond, you're a lump of coal. So
Yeah.
along that journey, you can say, okay, I'm a lump of coal. Well, maybe I can turn into clear quartz.
Mm.
So you take that journey to become clear quartz because that's an easy journey.
Yeah.
And then you become a clear quartz and you think, okay, I'm going to turn up the heat a bit more and I'm going to become this, or I'm
Mm.
going to see if I can become an emerald, or because once you're that clear quartz, it's like you've still got that drive and that passion and that urge to become because you're always unbecoming. So now you're unbecoming this clear quartz and you're becoming something that's more resonant with who you truly are. And eventually you become that diamond, which is no other than your authentic, true, soulful, beautiful self.
I think that's beautifully put because you're basically chunking it down so that you're going, can't go from A to Z. It's just A, B, C, D along the way. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's just the little things. And that really does help reduce the overwhelm of it all. It's like, this is never going to be possible. Well, it helps you with having that self belief, that trust within yourself, trusting the universe. I often say, trust, believe, and allow. And it's about trusting on all levels, trusting yourself, trusting the process, trusting it's
Yep.
possible, and then believing that you are worthy of receiving, believing in just the whole process, and then just allowing the universe to deliver it.
Yeah. Because you are worthy of receiving. You are worthy of that $1 million and those sports cars. You are worthy of all of it.
Mm.
It's just unbecoming and finding who you authentically are is the path to receiving them.
Yeah, brilliant. Because it's the 3D stuff that keeps us small and keeps us it, as we've said in other channels, it's about distractions and keeping us distracted so that we're off the course, if you like, and can't see
Yep.
the diamond from the rough. And then the 5D way is just, so different. It's like
Yeah.
you really do step into your own power. You've shed all that 3D stuff and fear and guilt and heavy, dense energies, and you're lighter.
So good.
Oh, yeah. And it's just
Feels so good.
this light consciousness level is just a whole other level. I was doing a walk along the beach today and taking myself up into another echelon or another frequency band, and the mind stopped. There was no thinking about anything. It was just this feeling and sensing of being, and it was light and airy like a fairy. It was just, it's so good. Like, it's just a very great space to be in. Imagine living in that all the time. And this quickening is happening right now, so that we're
Yeah.
feeling more and more of it, or getting exposure to more of it. And it feels so good.
It certainly does.
Mm,
So, how about we have a look at the cards?
perfect. Funny, the channel was talking about oracle cards too. It's just like shuffling up,
Really?
because you need to shuffle to go, right? Oh, yeah,
Oh, that's the action. Yep.
yeah,
Absolutely.
the
Can't
shuffle.
draw a card without shuffling.
Okay, magic and music. Oh, music to my ears, because music connects with your soul, higher self, and the universe. Tune into frequencies that make your soul sing. Mm-hmm. Sound is so powerful. Everything is a frequency because everything is energy, right? But
Yeah.
tuning into those soulful ones that align with your soul, make it sing. It's just, oh yeah, very cool.
Enjoy the sounds around you, all the frequencies, and that will help you to become the frequency that you came here to be. Because everybody has their own frequency.
Mm, they sure do. I mean, the frequency of nature is what I really align with. And, you're particularly into birds. And if anyone hasn't checked out Kaz's photos, amazing.
Thank you.
But just the
Yeah, nature's incredible, absolutely incredible. Really helps you to clear away the thoughts that aren't yours so you can find yourself.
mm, very profound words. That's so true. It does. It peels it all back just to bring you to home.
Yep,
Yeah. Well, Kaz,
absolutely.
exciting topic today about commanding, becoming the master creator and stepping into your courage and confidence to do so. And just, like shuffling it up, taking those little action steps, breaking it down, going from the lump of coal to the clear quartz, ultimately to the diamond.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, well, thank you everyone so much for joining us for episode 5. As always, reach out, please. Reach out with any topics you'd like covered, or any questions. If you're looking at getting some high level psychic strategic work with your business, reach out to Kaz. Both of us have got massive toolboxes, but we're just here to help you transition through this change.
I've also got a course that's not long been
Ooh.
released, and it's all about reconnecting with your sacred self.
Oh,
So check that
fabulous.
out.
Fabulous. Well, we'll put the link in the comments. So thank you
Okay.
everyone for joining us. We look forward to seeing you all next week.
Thank you. Bless you all.
Bye. That's it for this episode of The Quantum Thread.
If you have questions you'd like answered by the channel or topics you want us to explore, reach out anytime.
You can connect with Kaz for private channel sessions, or with either of us for support on your journey.
Until next time, keep tuning in, trusting yourself, and following your inner thread.